So very, very clearly and obvious, the easiest way to go about this is obviously just tracing. Now, I consider this sort of cheating because you lose some detail, well, quite a lot actually, and you're just copying over it, and you're not having your own sort of interpretation. And I know that sometimes you will need to trace things because they might need to be exactly the same, but in terms of making characters and stuff, I just wouldn't recommend it. The only time I would recommend it is when you're starting off and actually learning how to draw people and faces and anatomy. And it's really good. If you go back and watch my, I think it was how to draw like the body and everything. If you go back and watch that, I did actually show going over a picture of a body with digital drawing or just normal drawing. But what I'm saying is it's really good to get a sense of how proportions work, to get your construction lines right. And you can't like start drawing characters and stuff without actually knowing how to draw people, because how do you know how muscles are going to be presented? How do you know how facial features can be presented? And, well, everything else. So I need to improve on drawing people, and if you guys do too, then obviously go back and watch the anatomy series so far. But today we're doing specifically facial features, and you're going to need all ears for this one. Let's go. So, if you don't know already how to draw the basic head shape, all you're going to do is draw a nice little circle. I'm doing this very, very small, by the way. Obviously your guys will be a lot bigger. Then what you want to do is you want to do a center line down to bottom of your circle, and then a horizontal line going across. You want to have that center point marked with a dot. Then you're going to come in and make your jawline. Now you can make this as long as you want. I'm going to make mine slightly more chiseled, I guess. That's the term. Yep, and then connect it at the bottom. Make sure your line goes down to your jawline. First thing we're going to do is eyes. So once again, ignore this. You will see this come up soon actually, so I've got an idea for that. Anyway, first of all, eyes. So if you saw back at our head there, so this is like a bigger version of that basically. So you've got this line, this line, this line, this line, this line. There is a point here, and in between these two top lines, we're going to draw our eyes. Now, there's various different eye shapes. So, obviously there's smaller, like more closed ones. There's more open ones as well. And then there's also angled ones too. So a very easy way to start off drawing eyes is actually to draw an eyeball first. So again, just over here, we're going to draw a nice little circle, just like that. And then in the center of that circle, we're going to draw another circle, another little circle, and that's going to be our iris. So this is our iris here. Let's just add a few little stuff around it. Okay. Now what you want to do is add your actual eyelid and the eye shape around it. So when you have your eyes open, you don't actually show the full iris unless you like properly open your eyes. That's why the iris stops about there, if you can see. So when we go back and draw the actual eyes, the iris won't be showing as much. And there we go, and then just like that. And then you'll also actually want to add a little line that follows the top of the eye round, which should then represent the eyelid where it's slightly open. You might actually want to add a little bit on the bottom here as well, just for the bottom eyelid. And then obviously eyebrows we'll get to later. So let's go ahead and do it on here. One more thing is eye sockets. So you can draw these first if you want to, or afterwards, depends on your preferences. And then you can make bigger eye sockets for obviously more cartoony characters, and then smaller sockets for more realistic characters. So what we're actually going to do here, because I can draw eyes without the circle and stuff, but just for your guys' sake, what we're going to do is draw an eyeball just like this. Nice big eyeball, just like that. Yeah, I'm actually going to draw on the other side as well. So with eyes as well, you'll want an eye's width between these two here, otherwise it is going to look a bit derpy. So once again, we're going to draw circle, and the diameter of this circle is about the length of this line. Inside those, you're also going to draw more circles. One there and one there. So we'll just leave it there for now. You've got to try and make sure these are the same size, otherwise you'll have uneven irises. And again, it will look derpy. So now it doesn't look great, but if we add the lines for the actual eyes, and then once again, like I said before, what you want to do is not... Actually, I might just make these irises a bit bigger. You'll not want to... You don't want to have the full iris showing. So if we just do something like that. There we go. That looks terrible. Right, let's go to the other side. Yep. And again, not the full iris. You can come out of this line if you like. Go down this side. And then we're going to go back into the middle. And then just following that line round a bit, like where the eyeball is. Just want to follow it round just a bit. Okay, so just like that. So the eyes are a bit small on this. Which is fine for now. We can change them later when I do the actual line work, because yes, I'm doing line work for this, believe it or not. And that's pretty much it for the eyes. So obviously you can add your actual pupils, and then obviously you can add like light effects in them as well. We'll get onto that in a minute. But when you're drawing at angles like this, you want to draw them a bit more 3D. So with this one, I'm not going to draw the eyeball as well, because I did kind of mess it up on the other face. But what we're going to do here is... So if I'm having about that much width between each one, there we go. And then once again, what we can do is draw off of this line. I really try to focus when I'm doing stuff like this. There we go. And then what we can do is sort of draw a circle coming out of that. And this person looks more sort of like less interested and dazed and tired, I guess. And then obviously what we can do is add the little other circle in as well. A little black around that. And then obviously you can play tricks with light and have the light in the pupil going certain ways. Then what we're going to do is come in with our eyelid line that goes over the top. You can follow this closely, or you can follow it further away, depending on how you want your character to look. I might add a bit more of an eye bag under this one, just for like that tiredness look. We're going to go with the eyelid line over again. And then, like I said, just adding a bit more on these bits because I want it to look like an eye bag. Not too much, just enough to add a bit of an effect. There we go. And then if you want to connect up your eyes, you can, like that. Yes. Now, moving back over to here where it's a bit flatter. Moving on to the nose, basically. So what you want to do, to start off with your nose, you'll want to find this point here. So it's the second to last one. And you want to find the middle, and you want to draw a circle that's kind of big. I'd say relative proportion to the size of the eyeballs. And the size can get bigger or smaller depending on how big you want the point of the nose to be. And all we're going to do is we're going to come off of this, drawing two little sort of like bridges, I guess. And these are going to be the nostrils. You can then join these up with a line down here. So these little like nostril bridges, the bridges that you draw for nostrils, they can be longer, they can be bigger, they can be shorter, they can be smaller, they can be wider. Obviously, depending on how your character wants to look. And then you can also dip this lower, dip it less. But this is just like the connecting of the nostrils underneath the point of the nose. Now what you want to do is draw two little C's coming off on either side. Again, bigger, smaller size, you can just change it how you want. Proportionate if you're copying off an image, then obviously there, yeah, proportionate to that. And then coming off of that, we're actually going to draw, so you want to come to like the side of this circle here, and you'll just want to add some very sort of like smooth lines that go up and then join with the eyes. Again, I haven't done the eyes too well here, so it won't look too great. Nose is a bit big as well for this character. And what you want to do is maybe just add another few lines there, and you'll see how it joins up here, look. So what we're going to do again is just go ahead and add onto this character here. But with angles, what you want to try and do is sort of change proportion a bit, I guess. So obviously this side's going to be smaller than this side. And then you want to sort of just like curve them round. Yeah, it's not looking too great, is it? Hey, did say I'm not great at drawing people. Yeah, this is going great, isn't it? Now let's move on to the ears. So I struggle with faces so much. With the ears, obviously there's like a thinner ear shape, there's a bigger ear shape, and then there's short, and then there's like elven as well, stuff like that. For this guy over here, obviously you want to stay within your regions, which you've drawn here. And you want to get from this line and then in between this line here. So you can draw point to point, or it can be a bit more cramped. I'm going to do these guys is a bit more cramped, I guess you could say. Like that. And then what you want to do with the ears is some people do a little squiggle, and you can do what you prefer with the ears. but I actually learned a way recently that you can do it, which is like this. So you come out, wait, no, let me see again. So you go out, up, round and down, and then this comes off to a sharp point. And then you do 1, 2, and then there's like a box here. There you go. This is going terribly. For God's sake. Oh, this is why I've been putting off, because it looks terrible. It just looks awful. I did see something the other day, which is a challenge not to say anything negative about your own art, and apparently it improves your art. I've done that. Apparently it doesn't. Yeah, I don't think we are going to be doing different styles. God's sake. Right. Let's try the mouth now. So actually, let's add it to this person first. So obviously, again, proportions, because they're facing. And then when you're drawing side-on characters like this, we'll want to actually go into the head a bit. There we go. Right, now the mouth. So it's very simple, but it can be tricky. So you've got this line here, right? This point, and you want to, some people have big dimples, some people don't. You want to find points that match each other on either side. Sort of like symmetry, like that. Then you want to make them sort of like raindrop shapes, but to the side. And then you want to go up, across, and then just come up on the other side as well. It's not centered at all. And then you want to leave a little bit of space here. And then this can be your sort of like mouth space. Right, and then you want to do your Cupid's bow above the thing, and then obviously like the chin down. This is stuff in nightmares. This is not going well at all. I might end up just giving up. This might not even make it into the video, to be honest. What is this abomination that I have made? I mean, this one is good compared to this, but God's sake. Let's do the mouth on this one. I mean, me. And I guess that's kind of it. And we can add a bit of hair, I guess. You see what I mean now? Anyway, thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed watching me fail at drawing faces and also teaching you guys, I would advise watching something else, but that's up to you guys, and I'll see you soon for this. I'll see you very soon for this. Goodbye. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to see any more content like my others. I'm not using this as an example because this went horribly. And you guys can leave comments down below on what you might want to see next. I might end up doing some of your guys' drawings, I'm not sure. You can come up with concepts. I might end up drawing them, either on paper or on digital. I'm experimenting with Photoshop right now, so we'll see how that goes. Bye.